Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Terry Foster. How was your weekend, buddy?
It was weird. I got in trouble.
Why? And from who?
From the kids. I inhumanely killed a mouse.
I don't think there's such a thing as inhumanely killing a mouse. But
Well, this was.
well, if I was your kid, I'd support you, just so you know.
I did a bonfire.
Okay.
And normally when I do a bonfire, sometimes under the wood there's mice in there and they get the hell out of there. This one didn't.
Tough
He got
shit.
stuck in there, and then he was burned, and then he tried to get out of the pit. Couldn't do it, fell back into the hot coals.
Poor
and,
bastard. Poor bastard. He had it coming, though.
He did. I didn't know he was in there.
He should have got the hell out of there.
I know. Kids are like, Dad, that was mean. I said, I didn't do it on purpose.
And even if you did, so what?
It's a mouse.
It's a mouse. There's millions of them. The world's a better place today.
I know. Initially, they thought it was a frog, so I would have really been in trouble.
Oh, that would have been bad. Yeah, you would have been. I would have called you an ass for killing a frog. We are live at the DSMA Sporting Golf Outing. I'm excited, Terry. It's going to be fun all day at the golf course. We'll have Bottom Line on at 2, and, of course, Big D Energy at 11. Terry, I'm just going to get straight into it. Michigan football, they miss out on Dante Moore.
Right.
5-star recruit, which, to be honest with you, it's not that they missed out on him that upsets me. It's this persona and this entitlement that Michigan walks around with that, well, we should be recruiting 4- and 5-star quarterbacks. The fuck? Why should you? You tell me. You tell me, Terry. When's the last time they produced a quarterback that got drafted?
It wasn't Tom Brady.
Chad Henne.
Chad Henne, and he wasn't very good.
Chad Henne's your last example. What's Oregon's last example, Terry? Justin Herbert.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not just about which, by the way, Michigan are. They are prestigious. They're a huge brand. They're an iconic figure in college football. And it doesn't matter. Because as a 5-star recruit, what's the best route I can take to get to the NFL, Terry? Is it being a quarterback at Michigan where we hand the ball off 40, 45 times a game? Or do I go to Oregon, one where NIL, let's just call it what it is a much better situation over in Oregon than it is at Michigan. And on top of it, it's not even a conversation. You'll play much better football and be able to showcase your skills at Oregon.
Yeah, I mean, the game has changed, but Michigan has not changed. And that's the big thing. But in the grand scheme of things, Dante Moore not going to Michigan, is it that big of a deal? And now we have, and now I want to throw this up because this is right down your wheelhouse. Michigan has a 5-star recruit that they're not playing.
Oh, don't even bring me that. Oh, excuse me. I forgot this morning. They do have a 5-star quarterback who they're not planning on playing, it looks like. Oh, he has to beat out Cade McNamara, the Messiah of Michigan. What a joke. What a joke. You know why Clemson's a powerhouse program, Terry? It's not just because of Dabo Swinney and the work he did early on. They stumbled across and they recruited players like Deshaun Watson. Right. You know who came after Deshaun Watson? Trevor Lawrence. Mm-hmm. You know who Alabama has now gone over with the last 3-4 years? Jalen Hurts, Tua Tagovailoa, now Bryce Young, Heisman winner.
Right.
Kidding me?
And Alabama before that didn't feel they needed
no, it was
A.J.
McCarron.
Quarterback.
It was all the white dudes that could never throw in the NFL.
Right.
And now you got dynamic quarterbacks at Alabama. If you can't learn from Alabama and NIL Michigan, I don't know what to tell you this morning.
I think Nick Saban realizes the game has changed. Now, what Michigan can do with their old school ways, they can be a very solid and competitive program in the Big Ten. Big Ten is not that good. Even though it's supposedly one of the most prestigious conferences in the nation, you still have a 3 or 4 game schedule. All you have to do is beat Ohio State, Michigan State, Penn State sometimes, and that's it. But, having me at quarterback in Michigan, you can still win. But if you want to beat Georgia, if you want to be a premier player, you got to get these 5-star quarterbacks and develop them. It's not just getting them, but how are you developing? And Jim Harbaugh's seat, at least at Michigan, seems like he's not developing these guys.
He's never proven he can. And now, again, Michigan's program, whether people want to admit it or not, Terry, does rely on J.J. McCarthy's development. Are you going to play him? And if he goes out and he plays well and you win 9-10 games, that is significantly better than winning 9-10 games with Cade McNamara. I'm sorry.
Well,
college football is going in a completely different direction.
The lesson in all this is Michigan being the king of the hill over Purdue and Illinois, Northwestern is okay. Yes, do they want to win a national championship? Yes. But the issue is, are you willing to do the things that's required to win a national title? And I said the answer to that is no.
And I don't think they're ready for this. And again, NIL, right? It's such a bad thing. How dare college football do this, right? Michigan, we're the University of Michigan. We're not going to change our ways, Terry.
Right.
Get with the times. Like, why am I waking up on a Monday morning having to talk about Michigan struggling to recruit in their own backyard? This is a joke. Now, again, if I'm Dante Moore, I'm advising him, why would I tell him to go to Michigan? Why? They just won a Big Ten title. They just beat Ohio State. And they have had no surge at all. They're 12th in the Big Ten in recruiting this year, as of now. Granted, again, they have a ton of time. They'll end up in the top 2, top 3. It's Michigan. They'll be fine. But if you want to win a national title, you got to start recruiting 4 or 5-star athletes, which Michigan is failing to do. You can find some good 3-star recruits.
You can,
but at this rate,
you can develop them into 4 stars. But the thing is, Michigan was fortunate to have 2 5-star quarterbacks in its backyard. Didn't land either of them. And one is a legacy. So the fact that Michigan only has 10 recruits is a problem. Yes, it's early, but you're used to Michigan coming out the gate and just taking over, especially when you go to the Final Four of the National Championship Series.
It's disappointing. When you make it to the college football playoff, you win the Big Ten. You do everything you're supposed to do as Michigan, right? Or you want to do, or you say you want to do. And you follow it up with your head coach goes and flirts with the NFL. You have been slow to start recruiting 4-star prospects. You have 4 of them. Michigan State has 8. Ohio State, I believe, has 11 or 13. What's the definition of competing? Right? What's acceptable for Michigan? I don't know the answer to that anymore. I'm very frustrated with Michigan because they are a big brand. College football is better when Michigan is winning. And I have to sit here and have a conversation about Cade McNamara and J.J. McCarthy and to all you dumb Michigan fans. No, this isn't a Tom Brady situation all the way back again. It's just not. It just isn't. Look at college football. If Nick Saban, Mr. Defenseman or defensive-minded coach himself, is telling you, you know what, you can't win in today's game without a dynamic quarterback and a dynamic offense, then what the hell are you and who the hell are you, Michigan, when you recruit at an exponentially lower rate than Alabama does, and you think you're going to win playing that way? I can't.
You can win. You can't beat Alabama.
You can't win. No. What's the definition of winning? What? 2 Ohio State wins in 18 years? Your first Big Ten championship in 18 years? Come on, man.
The definition of winning at Michigan is winning the Big Ten, which they did last year. There's just not this forward-thinking, thing with Michigan. Jim Harbaugh may as well be Bo Schembechler. He's treating us the same way that Bo would be treating it if he was the head coach now. Let's win the Big Ten. Let's try to beat Ohio State now and then. And they won the Big Ten, beat Ohio State last year. So I think the dangerous thing is when you do that, you need to press forward. I think Michigan said, okay, we're good. And Jim Harbaugh, he didn't flirt with the NFL. He flirted and flirted and flirted. When the NFL said no, He said, "Are you sure?" I'm here. And I think the part of the recruiting problem is the fact that it lasted too long. You could tell he didn't want to be there. So if the coach doesn't want to be there.
What's up, buddy? Oh, God.
If the coach doesn't want to be there, why should I go there?
Yeah, I agree 100%. I agree 100%. We are about to be joined by the Detroit Tigers mascot. I hope he doesn't know how I feel about Avila. Should I just tell him?
Oh, yeah, please.
Yeah.
You know what?
Pause.
I don't know which pause this is, but I talked to a pause before, and it was a female.
Hey, man, look, I like you, man. I really do. I don't like your GM. What do I do? I know. I don't mean to put you on the spot. I'm an asshole. I know.
Don't get pause fired now.
Yeah, what am I supposed to do? Therapy? No. Oh, man. What are we going to do, Terry? Avila, what a bum.
Pause. When you ask him an Avila question, he has to get that smile off his face. I don't know if you can do that. Because it would seem like he's approving
I should have asked
the
him
stuff you say.
I should have asked him if they would if they should fire Avila. Oh, God. We're going to go to break. When we get back, oh, man, we have Detroit Pistons Summer League. Terry, Isaiah Stewart looking like a bona fide threat from three.
Right.
I'm actually really happy he's developed this game. We'll get into that in a bit. But before we do, I need to tell you about Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Their awesome stylists will take care of you like they take care of me. Visit Lady Jane's, any Lady Jane's near you, of course. No appointment necessary. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Hey, it's Sean Jordan from the Sports Marketing Agency, and SMA wouldn't be who we are without our amazing partners.
Thank you so much, Sean. You know, at Detroit Wayne, we want to serve as a resource for you and your families. We offer mental health services, substance use disorder services throughout our communities, and we want to be that source and resource within the community.
If you or a loved one are suffering from a mental health or substance abuse issue, please don't hesitate to call 1-800-241-4949.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper. Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Odds Trader, the place for all your betting needs. If you want to bet on some great games today, there's women's Euros you can bet on today. There's also baseball, basketball. You can bet on the Summer League. Maybe the Pistons will get some wins. You can bet on the Pistons to get 40 wins this season, Adam, right? They're going to get 40 wins? No? Okay, that sounds good. Anyways, Odds Trader, all your place to go for your bets. Go to oddstrader.com today.
God bless you, Fish. What would we do without Fish, guys?
I don't
Honestly.
know. We would just.
You'd survive perfectly.
I don't think so. Having said that, Pistons improved to 2-0, Terry, in the Summer League. Jaden Ivey goes down a little early with an ankle issue, but doesn't seem like anything serious. I think the notable star of the entire Summer League so far has been Isaiah Stewart. He's shown a development in a three-point shot, which makes him much more flexible. He's actually one of the team's best, I would say, versatile defenders. This is a guy that can cover really all 5 positions if needed. Not that he'd do it at an elite level, but he's definitely capable. Now, you can have him on the court, and if he has a respectable three-point shot, Terry, this team just got a lot better.
It did, but let me do the caution thing. It's the Summer League.
Oh, of course, of course.
But the fact that he's stroking the three, no matter who you're playing against, if you can hit a three, you can hit a three. So I think that's wonderful. The other thing that I would do, or I was thinking about, no Jaden Ivey, although I think he says that his ankle's going to be fine. But if he's not playing, I wouldn't put Cade Cunningham into the lineup.
Yeah, Cade won't be playing in Summer League, so that's a non-issue. Yeah.
I understand they wanted him to practice with him and blah, blah, blah. But I would have played him a couple games to see what that chemistry is like with Jaden Ivey. If Ivey's either going to be gimpy or not really play, and last summer or last fall, Cade had an ankle problem. I just wouldn't risk it.
Yeah, not worth it. Again, this team has looked good in the Summer League so far. I'm actually really pleased with how they're developing. But back to Isaiah Stewart. Yeah, it's Summer League. Yeah, he's knocked on, 4 of 5 and then 5 of 6, I believe. Yeah, okay, fine. You can take it for what it is. It's with Summer League. But at the end of the day, Terry, the form looks good. The form looks repeatable. That's a big thing about shooting the three-point ball, especially if you're a big man. Really, any shooter in general. But can you repeat your shot? Can you repeat the rhythm, the flow of it? And to be honest with you, Isaiah Stewart's three-point shot looks super smooth right now. That's a big win for this team.
It's a good art because sometimes guys are shooting the three, and then now and then they shoot a clunker where it's like a line drive and it clanks off the back of the rim. He's not doing that. He's got good form. His feet are set. He's square to the basket. Obviously, that's something he's been working on. And I think I tried to warn you with I think Isaiah Thomas is in the ear of a lot of these guys. And his philosophy was improve upon something or be great at create something over the off season where next year when you play, people are like, whoa, where'd this come from? And Isaiah Stewart probably worked on his form. Don't know what Cade Cunningham is working on, but my guess is if we praise him for setting up guys last year, he's working on a way to make it even better this year where I'm not just going to get you the ball, but I'm going to get you in the spot where you like it. If you like it on your left side low or on your right side high, that's where I'm going to get the ball. He needs to talk to teammates, figure out what they want, and then provide it for them. He's the waiter.
Absolutely. One of the other players that's been a standout, Killian Hayes, who was pulled after his first game performance. This is a guy that showed he's improved. Now, whether that translates during the season, Terry, I don't think many of us know, but the Pistons need Killian Hayes to develop. That kid is still the 7th overall pick from a few drafts ago. That is somebody with a lot of talent, but can he give you 9, 5, and 4, 9, 4, and 5? What's the ceiling with Killian Hayes, and what do you need to see out of him this season, Terry, before you make a decision on, all right, well, we're shipping him at the deadline, or you know what, we're invested in this kid. We're going to keep him for the long term.
I need to see a different mentality because I think his mentality is, okay, I'm going to try to be a guard with my little funky moves and do the best I can, but his mentality needs to be, I'm going to shoot this rock. I'm not afraid to shoot the ball. He doesn't have to make the game-winning shot, but attempt the shot during the course of a game. Don't be afraid. I think most of what's wrong with NBA players is physical. I think with him it's mental. And I see a little bit of Ben Simmons with him. I don't think he's going to walk away or anything, but he doesn't want to take that shot. Forget about the big shot. He doesn't want to – whoops, the thing is falling off. He doesn't want to take the shot at all. And when he does, it's very reluctant. He's tentative. I used to talk to a bunch of NBA players, and they believe this. There are 60, 70% of guys could average 20 points a game. But are you afraid to take that shot? If you're left open in a critical situation, do you have the balls to take that shot? And not everybody has that.
Another problem I have with Killian Hayes is he needs to develop that shot. It's a big year for him. What I'd like to see a more compact shot. I don't want his arms out too much. That's a big thing with him as a lefty. His arms are so out forward. Can you hit that shot consistently? I don't think so. He's going to have to be aggressive, like you said. And if he does end up working out as only a spark plug off the bench, then so be it. But at the end of the day, you're not relying on Killian Hayes to hit to make this rebuild turn into a contender. Now, if Killian Hayes works out, everybody's happy, of course. But Terry,
he needs to hit in his own way. Now, you brought up coming off the bench. That's very important. There are guys, they play, the last 3 or 4 minutes in the first quarter, maybe the first 3 or 4 minutes of the second quarter, and you bring them in certain spots. But when they come in, you can't fall off. Killian Hayes still needs to be an assassin. The Pistons had Vinnie Johnson. His job was to come in and just shoot the rock.
and I don't think that's what you want from Killian. I think with Killian, you want him passing 70, 80, 90% of the time.
But
one, he's a capable passer.
But when he gets that open shot, you don't want him going,
no, of course
let me look
not.
the other way.
And look, I mean, if you watch the Summer League games, he's been doing really a great job at making the right play all the time. This is a guy that's dribble penetrating, dishing out. He's making the right plays. Yeah, the shot's not going down from his teammates. So what? I've seen enough from Killian Hayes, at least in the Summer League so far, to at least allow me to be encouraged with him going into the season. Again, do I think he's a starting point guard on a contending team? It's still too early. This is a guy that's barely played over a season in the NBA so far. So the jury's still out. It's a big season for him, though.
It is a huge season for him. But the other thing he's doing is he's attacking the cup. Sometimes if your shot is off and you don't have confidence in it, the way to overcome that is attack the rim. You get a couple points there, and all of a sudden, I'm feeling pretty good about myself. So I think that's where the situation he's in right now.
And I think he's in a good spot, right? You're playing alongside Kate Cunningham, Jaden Ivey. You're playing alongside, now Isaiah Stewart, Sadiq Bey. You have players. You have good moments. And what's going to be, I think, the X factor for Killian Hayes this year is he just confident? Can he be confident on the ball? We know he can play defense. We know he can facilitate. Can he be confident on the offensive side of the ball? I think that's a big part of it. And it's not just shooting. Decision-making so far, all summer league long, he's been phenomenal. Does that continue into the season? I think those are the questions we're going to be asking of Killian Hayes. But speaking of Jaden Ivey, have you seen enough out of him in summer league to say, all right, you know what, let's just get him healthy for the season, pull him, he tweaked his ankle, it's not worth the risk? Or do you want to see a little bit more of Jaden Ivey? Because Duran's going to keep playing.
Yeah, I think I still want to see a little bit more because he's a rookie. And as many competitive situations as you can get yourself in, I would go for it. I wouldn't pull him yet. Yes, he's played well. Yes, he's put up good numbers. But I still want to see him slow the game down. Not him slowing down, but where the game is coming to him at a less frenetic pace. And you can only develop that by playing. To me, he's still the skittish rabbit that's just all over the place. That's why he tweaked his ankle. That's why he's on the court. And I'm talking about not on the court as a player, but on the court falling all over the place. And I made a little joke to myself. I know that he was hanging around the Notre Dame women's basketball team. The reason I know that is because a lot of the women's game is played on the floor where women are falling and they have these jump ball situations. And that's what Jaden Ivey reminds me of right now. I see a lot of great things, but I need to see him on his feet.
Fair enough.
More.
Fair enough. All right, when we get back, the Detroit Tigers won 6 straight and then got their ass kicked back-to-back games against the White Sox. Pause wasn't a fan of me asking about Avila, but here we are. But before we go,
Paul still got a job. He did not. He refused to answer that question.
Good man. Good for him. But before we go, Stick, I'm going to need you to tell everybody at home about our good friends over at Cintron.
I'm going to do my best, Maddie. Hi, guys. Let me tell you about Cintron. It's the summer of Cintron, and it is available. I go to Kroger, and I pick it up. It's only $2 a can. You can get 2 cans for $4. That's how the math works on that. Cintron. It's the summer of Cintron. Go get you some at Kroger near you.
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the Odds Trader Bet Tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to Odds Trader, and best of luck.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991, yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
All right, Bedrock Detroit open all summer long. The Monroe Street Midway is open downtown. Enjoy basketball, roller skating, mini golf, art, live music, food trucks, and more. A fun, safe event for everybody. Visit deckedoutdetroit.com for more information. Summer's better at the Monroe Street Midway. Terry, Detroit Tigers, winners of 6 straight before splitting the series with the White Sox, now on a 2-game losing streak. They look better. The pitching
they look like a real baseball team. How about that?
What's the definition of a real baseball team?
Real baseball team is one that scores runs, they get hits. The thing they did not do as well as the White Sox in this series was get 2-out hits. And the Tigers, when they have runners in scoring position with 2 outs, it's an automatic out. So, they're not scoring 2 runs a game. That's been upped. They're actually competitive in games. Usually, when the Tigers play early in the season, you knew they were going to lose. Now you don't know. They can compete with teams. They have a different mentality. And so that's what I mean by a real baseball team. They go out there and but
very reminiscent of last season.
Right.
A team that would play hard, win games, you'll probably scratch your head and say how'd they win that game. And this is a team that's still 36-49. So what does that do for me?
It does nothing for me, but here's what I will say about them. If they get within 5 games of the wild card, I'll take them seriously. I don't take them seriously now, although they're coming off a good stretch. But the hole they dug themselves in was so terrible, and the baseball so pathetic that's left a sour taste in my mouth, and I think it was left a sour taste in many fans' mouth. But to be fair, if they fight and get within 5 games of the wild card, I say, you know what? Good job.
I mean, Terry, the wild card team right now is Toronto. They're 45-42. Detroit's only 8 games out. 36-4. I don't see it. I don't see it. I just don't.
And you're probably right. I'm just saying, if that miracle happens, I will take them seriously.
I mean,
that's all I'm
you
saying.
have 3 teams from the AL East in the wild card right now. You have Boston, Tampa Bay, and Toronto. I expect those 3 to stay there for the whole season.
Right.
So there's one spot open. Is it going to be Seattle? Is it going to be Baltimore and the AL East runs the entire wild card? Or is it going to be Chicago or Cleveland? Or are the Angels going to finally step up? Speaking of the Angels, I mean, talk about wasting talent. The Angels are the Detroit Lions of baseball. The Detroit Lions wasted Barry Sanders, Calvin Johnson, Matthew Stafford.
Okay.
The Los Angeles Angels are now wasting Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani.
Okay, now I hear you now, because when I think of the Lions, I don't think of them as a very talented team. But when you bring up Barry and Calvin and Matthew Stafford, then I have to take an about face and say, yeah, I get where you're coming from. That team is just so mismanaged. They can't even open up a new stadium. I mean, they're so incompetent there. There's a whole bunch of bad stuff happening in Anaheim.
Well, they open up a series with the Kansas City Royals today at 2:00. I believe it's a 3-game or 4-game series. Let me double check. It is a 4-game series, and then they have a 4-game series against Cleveland. So the next 8 games, Terry. I mean, you talk about chasing teams. Kansas City's below you in the division. Cleveland's right there with 41 wins, and you're sitting there pretty at 36. If I was ever to take you seriously, that they would possibly make a run at the wild card, which I don't think they're capable of doing, and nor do I think anyone should even have this conversation. But this is the series. You have 4 games against Kansas City, the worst team in the division, and then 4 games against Cleveland.
But you know what they can't do? Can't beat Kansas City. They can't really struggle against them.
Terry, they struggle against anybody because they just can't score runs.
I know that, but Kansas City is like a team that you should win, that you should beat. I think it's ridiculous that they can't beat Kansas City. This has been going on for quite a while. This is not recent. So, you really need to pay attention. When you get into the division, those are the games you need to win because there's like 2-game swings every time you play. So, I'll watch it. I'll watch them. But, once again, I'm not taking them seriously yet. It's just another ball club.
Yeah, you can't. Even if they get closer to 500, you can't take them seriously. They've been teetering between 13 and 17 games under.
But if they get to 500,
that would be impressive.
That's a wild card team.
But who are we giving credit to? 20 games from now, and they're 500, let's say. They win 13. Hell, they win 14, 15 of the next 20, and they're 500. Then what?
Okay,
they're probably still not in the wild
your
card.
line. It's not happening. But for argument's sake, if it did happen, although we are down on the team now, we have to.
Should Avila get a contract extension if they make it to 500?
Gosh. Should he? No. Will he? Yes.
That's a joke. That's a joke.
It is a joke.
That's a joke, man.
And guess what? Guess who won't be on Chris Illich's ass? The fans. If the Tigers.
Oh no, Tigers fans have more self-respect than that.
No, they don't.
Come on.
No, they don't. Let's say they finish 500. Don't make the wild card or nothing. Chris Illich will bring him back, and he won't get flack from the fans. He'll get it from you, but not the fans.
Why? What? Walk me through a Detroit Tigers fan and what they're thinking about right now. What am I missing? The guy has failed since day one. This is not. I don't care about the Isaac Paredes trade. I don't. I'm not even going to knock him for that. That was a winning trade. They tried to win now. I can respect it. I can respect when you make a decision and it doesn't work out. But your decisions haven't been working out for 8 years, man. I don't know how
true.
Tigers fans, even if they go and they win 83 games.
We live in a forgiving community. These people have forgiven the Lions for 60 years. They'll do the same thing with the Tigers.
Oof.
If they finish around 500. There's not high expectations around here.
I would kill myself at that point. I don't know, man. I got to get my hands on Paws and slip him a note.
Don't get Paws fired now.
I'm not. I'm just going to have to send a friendly note to Avila.
You think Paul's going to deliver that message?
Probably not.
No.
If he wants to keep his job, probably not. But again, I don't see Tigers fans, even if they win 83, 84 games, I don't see every Tigers fan saying, man, we're going in the right direction. Boy, Avila's going to take us from 80 games to 93 next season, and we're going to win the Central.
They won't say that, but they won't put that pressure on the organization. They won't put that pressure on Chris Illich to make a change. That's all I'm saying. Yes, they'll still be disappointed, but they're like, all right, let's give this guy another shot.
I wouldn't be able to swallow that reality. You know, thankfully I wasn't doing media all the years that the Lions were absolutely horrendous, and the organization kept making bad decision after bad decision after bad decision. So I'm getting the Brad Holmes version of the Lions in my start here, but I will not sit back and speak highly of the Detroit Tigers. I'm sorry, it's just impossible for me.
And I don't expect you to.
The GM's a joke, Terry.
If you did, I'd yell at you.
I think if we're talking about most educated fans in the state for the professional teams, all right, I'm putting the Red Wings fans at the top.
Now you're going to most educated.
I'm going to talk about the most educated fans we have in town. The Red Wings have the most educated fan base, and not only in town, all of sports possibly. They're up there. Second, I think, is the Detroit Pistons. The Detroit Pistons.
As far as educated fans.
You know what? Actually, I take it back. I would say Detroit Tigers fans are more educated than Detroit Pistons fans. Then I put the Pistons fans at third, and then the Lions last. Why? Because every year the Lions fan base is, well, this is the year. Well, this is the year.
Yep.
To be fair with you, though, and to be honest to all of you at home, I mean, they're getting there. Under Brad Holmes, I think they're going to get there. But the point is, I've seen the Red Wings have success, the Tigers, the Pistons. I've seen the fan base, how they've reacted, how they've held people accountable, how they've wanted Stan Van Gundy out years prior to him ever leaving. So at least the other fan bases are holding those individuals accountable. You saw the Lions fan base do it with Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia. They wanted him out. Great. So now all the fan bases are starting to catch up to the Wings, to the Tigers, but no chance in hell. You can convince me at the end of the year Tigers fans would be, oh, well, you know what? I'm going to back off for the summer because, you know what, or excuse me, the fall and winter. I'm going to back off because, you know what, we won 81 games. We finished 500 after starting, 9-26. I don't see it happening.
Okay, you have forgot one critical word, love. They love their team. And so they're willing to give them the benefit of the doubt. I just don't see this. I think there'll be a little bit, not a big, but a little bit of celebration if the Tigers finish 500 or above. Because it would mean that they had a hot end of the season. It would mean they contended for the wild card and fell short. But I think most fans didn't expect them to be a playoff team this year anyway. And they would probably say that, you know, the Tigers turned it around. And this is something I do not believe in. The fans believe in momentum carrying over to the next season. It does not. But they're going to feel good about themselves and feel good about this team.
Definition of momentum, because I have a different view on it. I think if you win your division for the first time in 3-4 years, let's say you're the Bills a few years ago with Josh Allen, I think that translates into next season, right? You've grown up, you're becoming more confident, you become a better football team. But I also agree that it doesn't matter what you do at the end of the year because you have all off season to fix the roster, make it better, and the games you play next year aren't impacted by the games you played the year before. But I think momentum matters a little bit, but it matters for the winning teams, not for the teams that suck all year and then win the last 2 games of the year. Is that fair?
It's fair, but I look at sports as a bunch of different chapters. Every game is a different chapter. You never know what you're going to get game to game. And then if momentum doesn't carry over to the next game, why is it going to carry over for a 8-month shutdown? It just doesn't. You know, you're better the next year because of the draft, because of free agency, because of chemistry you developed in that locker room during training camp or right before the season begins. Because the thing about sports and why I believe there's no momentum is because you just don't sit there and play a football game. You have another team trying to stop everything you want to do. So that's why it's impossible in my mind to create momentum.
Do you want to see a magic trick?
Do I want to see what?
A magic trick.
A magic trick?
Yep.
I love magic.
All right. You ready for this? This is some next level stuff right now.
Okay. I think you're about to pull my leg, but go ahead.
No, I'm not going to pull your leg. All right. We're going to fold this piece of paper right now. This is every notable prospect, every notable veteran player, star player that the Detroit Tigers have had over the years. Okay?
Okay.
Now, in this hand is the return that Avila got for all of this.
Yeah, that's
We're
accurate.
talking 7, 8, 9 players over here.
That's not a magic trick. That's
You ready
a
for this?
horror trick.
Nothing. Nothing. He got nothing. Terry, I swear to God, I'm like ready to lose my mind. thinking about how we get to talk about the Lions, the Pistons, the Red Wings, optimistic future, where they're going, heading in the right direction. And there's the Tigers,
right,
who are literally looking at a guy. Terry, if you worked at McDonald's, this is the equivalent of you working at McDonald's. You're the drive-thru chick or dude, and you mess up 99 out of every 100 orders.
Right.
And the manager walks in, he's like, damn it, Terry, you're getting a raise, bro.
You're doing a great job.
You're doing a great job. That's the equivalent. That's the equivalent. Look at this hunk of sex walking
very,
towards.
very pleased.
Look at this guy.
What
I mean,
doing?
one, me and Spencer are
Second.
unbelievable. Me and Spencer are matching. Are we matching? Are we serious? I wish we could. Fish.
Okay.
Fish.
All right.
Look at this hunk of sex. Look at this. Sit next to Fish.
When?
Unbelievable. Look at this animal. This guy eats. Okay. This guy eats raw liver. He's the liver king. I like the bag. I like the Spartan bag. You here to golf?
Okay.
I love it. I love it, dude.
You're looking good today.
You're looking good. Just don't take off your shirt today, and then we're good, okay? Let's just avoid that. We're going to go to break. Terry, when we get back, Dan Campbell ranked the 30th best coach in the NFL, according to CBS Sports. Agree, disagree? Do you have a problem with it? Too early? We'll get to that in a little bit. But before we do, Fish, our good friends over at Guardian Alarm.
Guardian Alarm. Summertime is here. That means spending more time outside. Let Guardian Alarm give you peace of mind while you're enjoying the sunshine today. Maybe you're at Cherry Creek Golf Course. Just give us a call at 1-800 today, and you can rest easy. Call 1-800.
Stay out.
Now today.
Fish, are you
Guardian. Why? What? Call Guardian Alarm today. This is the Morning Woodward Show. We'll be back after these messages.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you want to know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
All right, we have Big Frog today. You want a Woodward Sports t-shirt? Go to Big Frog today for a t-shirt all month long, the Big Frog in Novi. Just stop in and tell them Woodward Sports sent you, and you'll get a Woodward Sports t-shirt. Go to Big Frog Novi today to get a free t-shirt from them, or visit them online at bigfrog.com/Novi today.
All right. Fish, are you going to be there when they give out free shirts? You should just go live there.
Okay.
I've been to
go
Big
live
Frog.
there.
Possibly. Have you?
Yes.
Is it good?
I haven't been in it, but I've been by it.
Hell yeah. I drive by it almost every other day. So.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, we're back here on the Morning Woodward Show. Terry, Dan Campbell ranked the 30th best coach in the NFL. I'll say this, I don't have a problem with it. This is a 3-win coach last season. Do we think more of him? Do we think he's capable of more? Sure, but Terry, the results are the results. You're not going to be a top 10 coach winning 3 games every year, and we all know this. This isn't complicated. Do I think it's a little harsh given the way the games were played, right? If you add context to it, this is a team that I would say more than some of the teams ahead of him and coaches ahead of him. The Lions were in more games than some of those other teams. But, again, 3-win football team, I have no problem with it. This is a guy that also, to be fair, that has something going in his favor. He took over offensive play calling around week 9 or 10, and the team was night and day better. So I don't think he's one of the worst coaches in the league. I think it's to be determined. I wouldn't give him a rank yet. He's only coached 17 games. My famous saying, by November.
You got to rank him. You got to rank him somewhere.
I would just go by win total from last season then. I think it's accurate. I mean, he's a 3-win coach. There's nothing I can do about it.
And, you know,
I'm getting sick.
I am growing fatigued by the Lions really played hard and they were in games. That's the NFL. That's every year. If you look at every team over the course of 2-3 seasons, they feel that they could have won an additional 5 or 6 games. That's the National Football League. And one time I did everybody always brings up, well, they only lost by 1 score. I did a little experiment one year, and every fan base says, our guys only lost by 1 score. They could have won this game. They could have.
You say that about every game, every team. I don't buy that. I agree.
Do you know what the worst record in the NFL would have been?
When?
If a team lost by lost by 1 score, and then you gave them that win, the worst team in the NFL would have been 9-7, which is mathematically impossible. So I always go back that most NFL games are close. Most NFL games are decided by 6 or 7 plays. That every team can say, damn it, we could have won
that game. Should have won that game.
Right.
But that doesn't matter in the NFL. It's either you win or you don't.
It's
Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin's never had a losing season because he hasn't. Not because he should have had one or could have had one. He hasn't.
Correct.
Because he's won games. You win or you lose, and that's the NFL. There are good coaches that have gotten fired before. Jim Caldwell was a decent coach. He got fired. Why? You didn't win enough. Now, you want to use the Detroit Lions standards? Be my guest, all of you, all you want. But at the end of the day, this is a winning league. This isn't how good does the roster look, up-and-coming talent. We're looking ahead to the future. All of it is thrown out the window when the ball is snapped.
Right. Even before Dan Campbell got here, when you looked at the majority of Lion losses, they were in games. The reason they didn't win is because they screwed up the last 4 or 5 minutes of a game, made some egregious play, sometimes got bad calls. But the bottom line was when it was time to decide the game, the Lions didn't perform. It's not because they screwed up the first quarter. It's because they screwed up the last 4 minutes of a game. That was before Dan Campbell got here. That's the history of this club.
Yeah, look, you win or you lose. That's the fact at the end of the day. That'll never change. Football will always be the same. Can you win football games? Right? That's it. That's it. And that's what Dan Campbell will be evaluated on during the season. I always tell you, talk to me November. I think by November I'll have an answer for you on whether or not I think Dan Campbell will work or won't work in Detroit. So that'll be fun. Excited for the football season.
You know what? By November, he'll have a great elevation and where he ranks as a coach, or he'll just stay the same. Because now we're getting to year 3, and now this season to me, we discover is Dan Campbell just a great motivator and a great rah-rah guy, or can he coach in the National Football League? I don't know the answer to that. What I see so far is rah-rah.
All right.
Now, if he can coach, I think we're going to have another set of games to evaluate that.
All right. Well, let's transition a little bit. Miguel Cabrera, selected to the All-Star team by the commissioner, him and Albert Pujols, by the way.
Right.
Soto was the only Tigers player elected and selected to the All-Star game. 1, did they get it right? And 2, do the Tigers deserve a second All-Star? I don't believe so.
I would not put Soto on there. I just don't look at this as a 2 All-Star team. They've been so bad. And Soto, I'm not impressed with his closing skills this year. He started out well, but he's had a few more hiccups than I would like to see.
I would make the argument there's only one player on this team that's deserving of an All-Star nod. Obviously outside of Miggy because the historical aspect of it. But he hasn't played enough games, and that's Riley Green.
Right.
I think if Riley Green plays the entire season, doesn't miss a beat, and is playing to the level he's playing at now, I think people would be considering him for the All-Star game. Now, would he make it? Probably not as a rookie. But he'd be up there, Terry. This is a guy that's been the most impressive Tigers player all season.
But if you have to have one person represent the Tigers, I think he would make it.
If you had to pick one?
Are you going to pick him or Soto?
No, I'd pick Riley Green 10 days a week.
So he would be on the All-Star team. It's not – the All-Star team is not necessarily the most deserving. A lot of it has to do with publicity. A lot of it has to do with fan votes. A lot of it has to do with got to have one guy on this team, so pick one. And if he had played the whole season and played at this clip, I would say Riley Green.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I don't think there's any other player. Baez? No.
No.
Grossman? No.
How can you pick Baez when people have been booing him all year?
He's been struggling all year, Terry. It's a whole different conversation.
Wilkinson is rated the worst player in
that
Major League
kills
Baseball.
me. That kills me, man. That
The
kills
worst.
me. Yeah, he's not having a good year at all. He's struggling at the plate. You know what, 30 games ago, Terry, we could say, well, he's having good at-bats.
I know. That's
we can't have that discussion anymore.
But that's what losers say. The losers on Bally say that. I know he's batting 198, but he's had some good bats. And once again, did you get a hit or did you not get a hit? A bloop single counts the same as a line drive single.
100%.
Did you get on base?
100%.
Yes or no?
Again, I don't think there's any other way to describe it. That's it. It's over and done with. The team does not have any all-star caliber players, though, right? If you want to talk about talent, you have two young guys, one who is struggling, the other has been arguably your best player since he's gotten the call-up after being injured to start the season. Baez hasn't performed at an all-star level. Terry, it's a talentless team offensively, and they have nice pitching, and they're performing better than you'd expect. But it's an average team. Go look at the Yankees down the lineup, up and down. Go look at the Mets. Go look at all the teams that are winning games. Aren't the Yankees like 62-24?
Yes.
They're
sir.
almost 40 games over 500. Do you understand how ridiculous that is?
It's nuts.
We're sitting here talking about, well, maybe we're going to win a few games, Terry.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe we'll be 500. Maybe. Maybe God hits me with a lightning bolt, and I don't have to do this
Once
anymore.
again, there's no expectations here.
Killing
I thought this would be a wasted season, but with some drama. I thought the Tigers would not make the playoffs, but they would give us some thrills. And I got to hand out some certificates. I'll be back.
All right.
Okay.
Enjoy. Well, while Terry steps away, we'll head to break. Top of the hour coming up shortly. When we get back, we will discuss Grant Hill's autobiography. Are you ready for alcohol sales? But I do want to revisit the Michigan recruiting trail. We'll do that in just a bit. But before we do, Fish, could you tell everybody at home about Big Boy?
Sure. Good old Big Boy has ciabattas now and summer salads. Hand dip shakes all at Big Boy today. Try a chicken club, chicken cordon bleu, or sunrise ham and cheddar, all on grilled ciabatta bread. Or keep it life the Michigan apple chicken Caesar salad or the Greek salad. And don't forget to cool off with nice hand-dipped cookies and cream Oreo shake. My favorite. Or strawberry apple pie. You heard it here first. Summer just got bigger at Big Boy.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi.
With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
All right, we're back here on the Morning Woodward Show. I'm joined by Spencer from the Woodward Heavyweights. Big news coming this week about the Woodward Heavyweights. We can't wait to share with everybody on Wednesday. Having said that, Spencer, let's get into it. Michigan State doing well on the recruiting trail. 8 4-star recruits, which leads me to the inevitable conversation about Michigan football. Only 4 4-star recruits at the moment. They've missed out now on 2 5-star quarterbacks. Spencer? Let's call it what it is. Michigan's a bigger brand than Michigan State.
Yes, for sure.
They're a more iconic program. They have more history.
Mm-hmm.
Michigan being good is good for college football.
Yeah.
But, here comes the but, they haven't developed. They haven't improved their NIL program. They haven't adopted anything. Again, why is Dante Moore choosing Oregon over Michigan?
Yeah.
It's not because of money only.
No, I think it's part of, Harbaugh was brought in there to be that quarterback whisperer, to be the quarterback guru, and you look what he's done with his highly touted quarterback prospects. If you go from J.J. McCaffrey to Joe Milton, from Dylan McCaffrey, to Joe Milton, and you're bringing in guys like Wilson Spate, like all these other quarterbacks they're bringing in on transfers and starting them instead of trying to develop their young, talented quarterbacks. So I think that is a big reason that a lot of these 5-star guys are like, why would I go to Michigan if I'm going to sit there for 2 years and then end up not playing because he's going to bring in a transfer? So
it goes
tough.
beyond that.
Yeah.
Clemson. Why did Clemson become a powerhouse program? Do you recall? Dabo Swinney, but why? Why did it work with Dabo? Who did he fall? Who fell into his lap that he recruited?
Was Trevor Lawrence?
Nope.
Deshaun Watson?
Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson kickstarted that program.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson, yes, got them to a national title game that they lost. But Deshaun Watson is what allowed you to recruit a Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
Nick Saban, Mr. Defensive-minded himself, telling you, hey, I can't win with a a limited quarterback. I need a dynamic quarterback. Give me Tua. Give me Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Give me Bryce Young now. This is where the game is going, and I mentioned Dante Moore earlier. Why would he pick Oregon?
Yes.
Well, who's the last Oregon prospect to come out and get drafted in the first round?
Justin Herbert.
Oh, he's a good quarterback.
Pretty good, yeah.
He's a pretty good quarterback. Michigan's quarterback drafted in the first round? Anybody?
Jake Rudock.
And I don't want this to be a clown Michigan segment because, to be honest with you, I'm frustrated for them more than I am clowning them.
Yeah.
Like you won because you're a Michigan State guy, but still, you won the Big Ten.
Yes.
You beat Ohio State.
Yes.
Ohio State has 11 recruits in the top 200 already.
Yeah, you would think if there's any year for Michigan to do what they are supposed to do and be, a top 5 recruiting class, be that powerhouse it'd be this year. Like you said, they beat Ohio State. They won the Big Ten. They made the college football playoff. There are so many things that they can hang their head on that they can push to recruiters, but it's just you don't see it. You don't, like you said, you don't see that transition of offense. It's a new age of college football. It's not just going to be run, and play good defense. You need, obviously, chunk plays. Chunk plays are huge. They've always been huge in college football, and especially nowadays when you have these explosive athletes on the outside, when you're fighting, you look at USC, they paid for $2 million receivers. You look at what Ohio State produces at the receiver position every single year. You need to utilize these guys.
Is that called talent?
It is called talent, and it's utilizing them. It's utilizing your talent. It's knowing that you can't just run the ball 40 times a game, but you have to throw it deep over the field.
If you're Dante Moore, would you rather be throwing to Alabama wide receivers, Oregon wide receivers, USC wide receivers, Ohio State wide receivers, or would you rather throw to the guys Michigan have?
Even if it's not just the guys they have, because it's the scheme. It's the scheme. Would you rather be throwing dink and dunks throw 10 balls in the first half where only 2 of them go over 20 yards? Or would you rather be opening it up, running this offense where you're stretching the field and looking amazing? And you see how Mel Tucker did that with Michigan State. Peyton Thorne comes in and sets the single-season record for touchdown passes. So it's extremely important. You need somebody like that. You need to – that's what Jim Harbaugh brought those guys in to do. We're bringing in youth. We're bringing in these young coordinators. They're going to change the way our offense looks, change the way our team looks, and we haven't seen it. And
Michigan
they left.
Michigan, you ready? Wake up. Wake up. Your last skill position player drafted in the first round on the offensive side of the ball, you know who it is, Spencer?
Who?
Braylon Edwards. Braylon Edwards is your last skill position player drafted in the first round. What up, Terry? I like
I'm
the
not Spencer
mid-transition
anymore.
What are we doing here? Braylon fucking Edwards, 2005. The last time you had an offensive skill position player drafted in the first round. Well, Cesar Ruiz was a center. You had a center drafted in the first round. Congrats. Oh, your last quarterback drafted in the first round, 1987. And it was your current coach, Jim Harbaugh.
That's bad.
Terry.
But once again,
18 years. No, excuse me. Yeah, 18 years. It's been 18 years since you've had a skill position player drafted in the first round. 1987, the last time you had a quarterback taken in the first round. Why would a 5-star, a 4-star skill position player come play here over USC, Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia, LSU, Florida, Auburn, Oregon, Stanford? I don't care where. Why would they not play? Why would they not play for any of those other schools and say, I'm coming to Michigan? You had a legacy kid walk out 5-star quarterback. You had a kid in your backyard walk out and go to Oregon. I don't want to hear that, oh, well, we're going to be good this year. You are. You're Michigan. You should be good. Well, Cade McNamara is the safer option. Stop being safe. Spend money. Implement a solid NIL program. Be bold. Be what you claim you are, Michigan, right? Michigan, it's one of the best, most iconic programs in the country, except at football. It's not 1940, 1950 anymore. We need to realize this team has sucked. They've won nothing. 18 years between a Big Ten championship. You're going to go another 18 playing this kind of football, Terry, recruiting the way they are.
I think saying sucks is a little extreme.
Frustrated.
But the mentality has always been backwards at Michigan. When other teams like Alabama, Auburn, Oklahoma were talking national championships, Michigan was like, oh, let's beat Ohio State and win the Big Ten. That's the mentality. That mentality is still the same today.
Ohio State will produce more first-round wide receivers with the current class they have right now. The current lineup, their current roster, Smith and Jimba, Marvin Harrison Jr., they will have more first-round picks than Michigan has had in the last 18 years at wide receiver.
That's why Ohio State has dominated the series.
Like, when is it we're going to move away from playing like Bo? And again, I can respect it. You accomplished so much under Bo. Congrats. You just won a Big Ten title under Jim. There's nobody that wanted Jim Harbaugh to win more than I did. But that's what you followed up with.
What's the other thing Bo did? Finished 2-10 in the Rose Bowl.
That's a whole different conversation.
What else did Bo? If he played Oklahoma, if he played a big-time school in a big situation, he normally lost. And I think Michigan right now, and this is sad, the main thing is they care about they're better than Purdue, they're better than Illinois, they're better than Northwestern. They can win their 10 games. And if they do that, guess what? Check all the boxes, we're good. Now, the fan base is a little bit wants more. But I think inside that football program, the Block M will get you 10 wins, 9 to 10 games in the season.
You'll beat Indiana.
And they're, yeah.
I feel like a complete piece of garbage right now. We're talking in the national anthem. I kind of feel like a piece of shit.
Well, should we shut up for 2.5 minutes? I don't think so.
Probably not. Probably not. I'm tired of the arrogance that comes with Michigan. I can respect Michigan State for trying to be that. Michigan feels like they already are. And who are you? What have you done? What have you accomplished? Finally, a Big Ten title. Thank you. Great. Took 18 years. Your last skill position player was Braylon Edwards. Braylon works at Woodward Sports now. He does a show 2 hours a day now. Braylon Edwards, 18 years removed.
I
can't.
Maybe winning the Big Ten and beating Ohio State was a detriment to Michigan.
How so?
Because everybody's walking around like, yeah, we're bad mofos. Look at us. We beat Ohio State and went to the college. I think the program got fat. Got fat because we've arrived. No, you haven't arrived. Yes, you beat Ohio State for the first time in many, many years. You won the Big Ten for the first time in like 19, 20 years. You got to do it again. You have not arrived because Michigan's already a 14.5-point early underdog to Ohio State for next season.
Terry, in your last 18 meetings, you've beaten Ohio State twice. And I'm just going to say this one more time before we go to break. I don't want to be angry. I do want to calm down. But Michigan fans, I'm only going to say this one more time today. Your last first-round pick that was a skill position player on the offensive side of the ball was Braylon Edwards. Motherfucker works here now.
He's an old guy. He got gray in his beard.
He's got gray in his beard. Works at Woodward Sports. You know how long ago that was? You know how long ago it was that he was drafted top of the board in the first round? You haven't had a single offensive player. Your last quarterback drafted in the first round, 1987. Well, C.J. Carr, how dare he not come to Michigan? Well, it's okay. We'll get Dante Moore. Well, Dante Moore left. Now what? The one kid that actually decided he wanted to be here as a 5-star recruit, we're actually having a conversation about, well, maybe he should sit another year. That doesn't happen with Trevor Lawrence, Deshaun Watson, Bryce Young, Tua Tagovailoa, Jalen Hurts. You only sit them if there's a generational player ahead of them. Cade McNamara's not a generational player. Get your act together.
He gave Michigan everything they want.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
Well, in theory, what? He just threw the ball every time on a check down? Wow.
But
that's all they needed to do.
That's all they wanted.
2 first-round picks on the defensive side of the ball. Would have been 3 if Ajabo didn't get hurt. They were defensively, they were stacked. They had a pro coach as their defensive coordinator for 1 year who is now gone. You have regressed on defense. You will not have the same production as last year. Yes, your offensive line will be solid. It won't be good enough. And Hassan Haskins is gone. It won't be good enough to run the ball 40, 50 times against Ohio State in Columbus, and you think you're going to put up 40-plus points. It's not going to happen again this year. That's what kills me is you won the Big Ten, and you followed up with nothing. Nothing. You lose. You have nothing.
But they got fat. They got complacent. Michigan.
It's not that they got complacent. The truth is they're not adopting NIL, and every 5-star, 4-star recruit out there knows what the deal is. They see J.J. McCarthy. They see J.J. McCarthy on the bench.
Hey,
and you know what they see?
That is being complacent because we don't have to do what all these other schools do. We don't have to embrace NIL. We're just going to throw the block M out there, and that's going to give us success. That's being complacent there, bro, Hammer. See, and you're already mad you got spittle all over your beard.
Oh, God. When we get back, Terry, Grant Hill come out with an autobiography.
Yeah.
Interested to hear about that. Interested to hear what you have to say about it. But before we do, I need to tell you guys about MyBookie, the best place to place your bets. Make sure when you sign up, you use promo code Woodward. MyBookie will match your first deposit. Win big at mybookie.com. And if you have a problem, please call the Michigan Gambling Problem Hotline at 1-800-270-7117.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risks, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
Hey, it's Scott from the Woodward Bet Show. Hey, listen, it's Monday. Nobody likes Mondays. Who likes Mondays? But hey, I tell you what we like. We like fun coupons. And we also like oddstrader.com. You guys get to go over to that app store and download it today. It's got live scoring, play-by-play updates, and the best place to check all the odds at the sports books right in the palm of your hand. But hey, let's get back to them winners. That's all we want. We want fun coupons. Listen, we're going to roll with our home team Tigers today. Daniel Lynch stinks. He hasn't won a game in his last 10 starts. Listen, sounds good to me. Tigers 7-3 last 10 games. Let's roll with it. Tigers, oddstrader.com. Woodward Bets. Check it out.
Winning is a habit. So is listening daily to Woodward Sports. We're glad you're a winner, and thanks for listening.
Alrighty, do you want a brand new state-of-the-art sports dome field that has regulation-sized basketball court, volleyball court, and a soccer field, also a 7-on-7 football? Academy of Warren is here to save the day. It has K-8 features, AM and PM latchkey. It has small classroom sizes, learning street. It also has a futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch. Curriculum, and it has activity games as well, and it's K-8 athletics. Enroll today at academywarren.net today.
All right, we are back here on the Morning Woodward Show live from the DSMA Golf Outing. Terry, they actually just pulled out.
Yeah,
they're all going to get their game on.
The winner is on the course right now, about to burn it up. I don't know who it's going to be.
Oh.
I don't know. But
you have money on
but
anybody?
You know what happens at these little scrambles?
No.
Somebody cheats.
Oh, I mean, I played in a scramble on
Saturday
with Fish.
Yep.
Actually, we golfed together.
Mm-hmm.
And we did okay. We were one over before I had to leave. I left after, the 12th hole?
Did you win your home run derby, by the way?
No.
Did you hit dingers?
No, it was a disaster.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it was a
but
disaster.
you know what you get at these scrambles. You know, you come in the turn after 9 holes. How you doing? Not so good. We're 11 under.
Yeah, okay.
You know, come on.
Yeah, I mean.
Really?
Yeah, it was a blast, though. We had such a good time. Grant Hill comes out with an autobiography. Before we discuss his time here in Detroit, walk me through it. You're going to read it?
I will. I'm going to get it signed.
Hell yeah.
Yes. I should be in that book.
I think you probably will be.
Because we used to have long conversations at night. I used to get in trouble with my wife because she thought I was talking to some woman. But we would be talking like at 2 or 3 in the morning. And I think the thing, I'm curious to see if this is in the book. The thing he didn't like about playing for the Pistons was like a front office person would want to have a quote-unquote private conversation with him. And then when he did that, it was in the newspaper like 3 days later. He didn't appreciate that. He thought that if you say this is private, it should remain private. And the Pistons were very immature at that time. It was a bad organization. And he felt betrayed by the Pistons. I'm curious to see if he's going to say that in his book. Or
Why, though? Why, though? I thought the rumor was he was already in Orlando. Whole debacle.
The reason he was in Orlando is because he felt betrayed by the Pistons. He didn't like the fact that, he was a superstar player there. And so when he talked to the front office, they're like, hey, Grant, let's talk about some things. And, this isn't confidential. And so we just want to pick your head on stuff. 3 days later, it's in the newspaper. Everything he said in confidence was leaked in the paper, and he didn't like that. So he felt betrayed by the organization. He felt it was unprofessional, and I agree with him. It was an unprofessional organization at the time. It was not serious about winning. They had goofballs in the front office, and he didn't appreciate that. I think the other thing, if he's being truthful about his stay here in Detroit, that I thought was unfortunate is a lot of people thought Grant Hill was soft because he went to Duke. He had the pedigree with Calvin, and, his mother was a sweet mate with Hillary Clinton. So they put all, and then his people would make him dress the way he didn't want to dress. I used to call him the Wall Street banker because he'd show up games wearing 3-piece suits, conservative ties, and he didn't want to wear that. the little known fact, and I think some people who covered Grant had a potty mouth. He's like, y'all would have got together. Y'all would have gotten along. Hey, man, this dude used to cuss like a sailor. But nobody knows that because his image was he's this pristine guy. He's a good player. Even he had handlers, and his handlers played up the fact that this is the way the public sees you, and you need to play up to that. And he didn't like that. He wanted to, I don't know. I think he wanted to dress like Easy sometimes. Not Easy at the golf course, but Easy when he rolls in on a Thursday afternoon. But he couldn't do that because he was told not to do it.
Well, with Grant, how do we look back at his time in Detroit? It was his career was super early in my lifetime. I have very limited memory of Grant Hill in a Pistons uniform. But from just going back, reading articles, watching documentaries, looking back at it, it seemed like it was just a super talented, gifted player that could never stay healthy and didn't really accomplish much in Detroit.
And I think a lot of that had to do with the franchise. The franchise didn't surround him with good players. The franchise didn't know what to do. And I think the fan base turned on Grant Hill when they should have turned on the Pistons. Because, like I said, I mean, the Pistons were an inept franchise at that time. They had people who didn't know basketball, but they were making key decisions. And Grant Hill was pretty much on the island by himself here. And the fan base turned on him.
Did they?
They did. They did. Calling him soft, and they wanted to blame him more for the Pistons' incompetence rather than the franchise itself.
He left in, 99, 2000?
Yes.
So he left. Dumars had just gotten there.
Right. And so some people felt he should have stayed because he played with Dumars and he should have done that as an obligation. But he was out.
Yeah, look, I mean, Dumars shows up. You make the playoffs 8 out of 9 seasons, 6 of which were Eastern Conference Finals. I don't think anybody questions the decisions that were made.
Except Easy.
Except Easy, because Joe Dumars allegedly is not a great GM. I guess winning a championship doesn't mean much and getting to a second final. But anyways.
No, not at all. 6 straight Eastern Conference Finals.
Oh, man. You know what I forgot to do today? Thank you, Michael, for reminding me. I haven't sent my daily Avila tweet yet.
Oh,
so
how could you do that?
Today
you were distracted today because of the golf outing.
I was.
That.
So it's July 11th. All right, I'm going to write this out and speak it out.
I want to hear it.
By the way, you guys know today's a special day.
It's the 11th.
Yes.
Avila Day?
None of you know what it is? 7-Eleven Day at 7-Eleven.
Please.
Fish, shut the hell up. Mute your goddamn mic.
What? None of you know what it is?
Mute your mic before I have Spencer ragdoll you down the stairs.
I would love that. Do it right now. Spencer, ragdoll me down these steps, please.
Please get rid of him.
So are we supposed to go to 7-Eleven today? Buy a Slurpee?
All right.
I mean, you could.
Since he brought it up, it's July 11th. It's 7-Eleven Day. All right? What else do we got here? It's 7-Eleven Day. Grant Hill's a bitch. Is it bitch?
Bitch, yeah.
Yeah. Grant Hill's a bitch.
Or bitch-like.
And Avila is somehow still employed.
Right.
What a fat fuck.
And it's going nowhere.
All right.
I'm telling you, man. You haven't taken it seriously enough. But when Chris Illich said, I'm very pleased, brother, that's going to be your nightmare. Because your fat friend is going nowhere.
Yeah, I know he isn't. I mean, at the end of the day, Terry, the best thing you can do if you're a fan and you're going to experience what the Tigers are about to do to you for the next 3 to 5 years, again, just be prepared to speak out against it. Don't sit there and say, well, at least we have A.J. Hinch.
Right.
I mean,
I thought I had you. I thought I had you because when Chris Ilitch said, "I'm very pleased," I was on the afternoon show arguing with Stick. You stormed the show pissed off. And then I think you kind of like, this is not going to really happen.
Yeah,
he's not really coming back.
Well, he is. He's going to be in charge of the trade deadline. He is going to be in charge of the draft. That, for me, is more concerning than him getting an extension. At this point, I'm to the point where you might as well just give the fat guy an extension. Give him a 5-year extension. Just go down the William Clay Ford path. Become the new William Clay Ford and Matt Millen tandem, because that's where Chris Ilitch and Avila are heading. They are heading into a dark, dark, dark alley. And when they get out of it, it's not going to be pretty. Chris Ilitch shouldn't be running this team, and neither should Avila. It's extremely disappointing.
See, you disappoint me.
Why is that?
Because you've given up.
I haven't given up.
Oh, you said you may as well bring him back and extend him for 5 years.
You will bring him back. You
But
may as well.
I need
You may as well, because what are you waiting for?
I need
You're
you
Chris
huffing
Ilitch.
and puffing.
You're Chris Ilitch. You're an idiot. You don't understand anything about this team. You have no idea how it operates. And for you to sit there and say, like, I'm pleased with the progress that we have made, Terry. Like, dude, why are you wasting my time? Just give him the goddamn extension already. I know what's going to happen.
You know what I need
here.
from you? I need you to go out to Comerica Park dressed as a condom and just show your ass.
Oh, God. What do I do, Terry? What you give me a solution. What can I do to help get this fat ass out of town? You tell
Dress
me.
up as a condom. Go down to Comerica Park.
How do I dress up as a condom?
You put
Here.
a rubber
Condom
a big
costumes.
Rubber. They have condom.
Oh, they got
costumes.
condom
Yeah.
costumes. All right.
Yeah.
You think that's not appropriate? You know, there's going to be a lot of kids there. I kind of feel awful.
It's not appropriate, but
look at this.
I wouldn't fight you on that one if you did that.
All right, I'll figure it out. At the end of the day, Avila needs to go. Chris Ilitch needs to get rid of Avila. He needs to hire a president, and he needs to hire a GM that can actually do a job, instead of us just sitting here and say, oh, well, I'm pleased, Terry. I am so pleased because we are irrelevant, and that's just, I don't care about this team. I'm just going to look at the Red Wings, and our Steve Yzerman has got it. And Avila, listen, let me tell you about Al. He's the smartest guy in all of baseball. Avila is so smart.
And he did a hell of a job in Florida.
He did. He won the Marlins that championship. Let me tell you, Avila, every trade has made, it's turned from piss to gold. Unbelievable. Avila, the best GM in baseball.
There you go.
Kill me, God.
We got you back. I'm happy about that.
Kill me.
Because I thought I lost you. Thought I lost you.
I'm trying to help. I really am. I just don't know what else I can provide for anybody to sit there and say, well, you know what? The team, I don't care what direction they're going in. If you don't believe in Brad Holmes, do you care what talent they're drafting? Honestly. If the Lions drafted Hutchinson, they got all the players right. They're all hits. If it's not Brad Holmes in charge, let's say it's Matt Millen, and he lucked into Hutchinson, are you feeling confident about the team moving forward? No, you're not.
No, because he would screw up rounds 2 through 8. He would screw it. Yeah, he'd have
Even
Hutchinson.
if he didn't, he would screw up the coach. He would just screw up. He's a screw-up just like Avila. You look at Yzerman and the Wings. If the Wings had a disaster of a GM, would you be confident in them? Even if they had the number 1 overall pick, who cares? It doesn't matter. The guy in charge.
Hey, hamburger face. Check this out.
Hamburger face.
When Matt Millen interviewed Marty Mornhinweg, he said, I can't let this guy out the showroom. He not only hired him, but he was like, we can't let him go to any other team because they're going to hire him. That's what he thought. That shows how incompetent he is.
Terry, that's like you. It's like you going to the strip club and asking one of the strippers to marry you. Like, you know what? That's wife material. Let me tell you, she's giving a lap dance to every guy here, but she's the one for me.
Oh, I'll go a step further. That's like me asking the one-legged stripper in Pontiac to marry me, because Pontiac does have a one-legged stripper.
Is that a thing?
It's a thing.
Oh, God.
I said, hey, baby, I know you only got one leg and you're on the pole, but Will you marry me?
That's like going to the gym every day, and your diet consists of morning breakfast, lunch, dinner, all McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are we doing here?
Or, not only am I going to marry the one-legged stripper, I'm going to leave my wife for her.
Oh, that's commitment, man.
Leave my wife, 2 kids, everything.
Yeah, look, am I fair to say, I brought this up month and a half ago. Is Avila worse GM than Matt Millen? You called me crazy.
Fight you.
It's getting close now.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, William Clay
Ford. It was a
Ford.
blowout.
William Clay Ford and Avila. William Clay Ford and Matt Millen. We're going to remember these two like we're going to remember Avila and Chris Ilitch. It's a disaster. It's embarrassing. We got to go to break. When we get back, we have some more sports talk. The Lions have the 28th ranked roster in the NFL. I disagree completely. What are their realistic expectations in early July? We'll get to that in a bit. And, of course, later on we got some Summer League drama, some NBA talk. We'll get to all that later. But before we do, I got to tell you about Planet Fitness. Don't go to Planet Fitness if your diet consists of McDonald's. You're not going to make any progress. So start today. Eat healthy. Get your life in order. $0 down, $10 a month. Your fitness is essential. I am as sick as a dog. I probably need to go sweat this off and work out. Holy hell, I can't even finish the sentence. Get to Planet Fitness and let them know Woodward Sports sent you. Bam.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Alta. At Alta, uptime matters. Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job done. You have a big project coming up this week? Call Alta. Coming up, Alta, Rent has you covered. Call them today, 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That is 844-GO-TO-ALTA today.
All right, Fish, you're the man, and we are back here on the Morning Woodward Show. Thank you all for joining us this morning live from the DSMA Golf Outing. They're already out there.
They're out there.
And that guy just clunked a shot, so I feel bad for him. If I make it to the end of the show, I'm going to be very, very proud of myself. I can't even talk anymore.
I mean, you've got 32 minutes. You should.
I got it. I think I just need to figure out how I'm going to get all this
and
congestion
out there,
down.
somebody's already claimed a birdie that was actually a par.
Oh man, we had a good time. Stick Fish, and Maddie was there. But Maddie, Maddie's a crackhead. I don't know. I can't help Maddie. She played. She can't play, but she played.
She can't play, but she
can't play, but she played.
Yeah, we used the ball a few times. You weren't there to see it. You were too busy trying to hit home runs. But
Listen, I'm just glad you guys did well after I left.
Nick Leach was there as well.
Absolutely. Terry, the Lions have the 28th ranked roster in the NFL.
And the 30th best coach, so it's going to be another exciting season.
So if we were just going based on the preseason rankings, meet me in the middle, 30 and 28, 29th, which means you have the 4th worst record in football this year.
That's what Vegas is saying.
Vegas has them at 5 wins, I believe. Over-unders at 5 wins this year or 6? I think it's 6 or 6.5.
6.5, but if that holds true, Vegas says they will have the number 4 pick in the draft.
And as much as I'd like to sit here and say Vegas is going to be wrong on this one, this season comes down to one thing, Terry. Not how Jared Goff plays. Not the offensive line. Not DeAndre Swift. Not the defense improving. not Ben Johnson, not Aaron Glenn. It comes down to Dan Campbell.
That's what I say. What's left?
Can he be a legitimate winning head coach in the NFL? Can he recover from a 3-win season and take you to 8, 9, possibly 10 wins? Can he show you that he belongs, that he is the next coach? When have the Lions ever had a Hall of Fame head coach? When have the Lions ever had a coach that's had more than 5, 6, 7, 8 winning seasons? Never. Never. And at the end of the day, we're going to know who Dan Campbell is probably by November. I'd be very confident saying that. And I hope it's not based on these rankings. I hope actually they're much better. But do I see 7, 8, 9 wins on the book this year? I do. I actually do. I think the way they play is going to be a pain in the ass. They're just going to be a difficult team to put away. They're going to be able to control the clock. They're going to be able to hit you on the play action. If their defensive front can get pressure on the opposing team's quarterbacks, this becomes a pretty solid football team that's going to, like I said, be a pain in the ass. That's my theme this year. A pain in the ass to play against.
So you're saying Dan Campbell is not the 30th best coach in the NFL?
We'll see.
Or are you saying the roster is not the 28th best?
The roster, I think, is better than what they're getting credit for. The coach, I can't tell you right now. But what I can tell you is if the Lions win 9 games, there is a likely 95% chance it's because their head coach is capable of doing something in the future. If they win 3, 4 games, it's one of two things. The roster gets completely decimated by injuries, or the coach is just not a good coach.
No. It's impossible for them to win 3 or 4 games this year.
With that schedule.
It would mean that not only is Dan Campbell a bad coach, he's a nincompoop.
He's a Hugh Jackson.
Right. He's incapable of carrying on a conversation. He knows nothing about football. And I'm going to give the man more credit than that. So it's impossible for the Lions to win 3 or 4 games. They will win more than that. They will return to the league average where most NFL teams win between 6 and 10 games. They'll be within that range. I think it'll be closer to 6 than 10.
Well, I'm going to read off the rosters that I think the Detroit Lions are better than. The Atlanta Falcons, yes. The Houston Texans, yes. The Bears, absolutely. The Giants, I would say yes. Much more complete, but the Giants have a few pieces I like. The Jaguars, yes. More talented than the Jaguars. Better than the Seahawks. Honestly, you could flip a coin between this team and the Washington Commanders. What's the difference? You have Wentz, you have Goff. You have 2 offensive lines that are pretty strong, but the Lions have a better offensive line. Dynamic running back. You could argue Terry McLaurin's the best receiver between the two teams, but the Lions have more receivers. They have a tight end. They have a pass rush alongside Washington, who you could argue has a better pass rush.
They have more receivers, but how many of them are playmakers? How many of them are game breakers?
Probably one. St. Brown.
Okay. I don't think he's that. I think he's a very good wide receiver. He's going to get you yards. He's not a game breaker, but he's a guy that you can depend on.
All right. Well, the Patriots roster. Compare the Patriots. Would you rather have the Patriots roster or the Lions? You line it up. I mean, it's close. You can flip a coin, but I would lean the Lions have a better roster. You go to the Panthers, I think the Lions have a better roster. So then we fall at 23. Do I think there's 22 teams that have a better roster? I don't think the Saints do. The Jets is an interesting one. The Cardinals, interesting. They do have a better quarterback, a better wide receiver. But what else? What else? Budda Baker? Well, it's been we're years past him being an X-Factor player. The Niners, okay, fine, the Niners. You give it to the Steelers. Now you get into the top 16 teams. Yeah, they're all better than the Lions. But they're not the 28th ranked roster. For me, they're somewhere between 21 and 23. Now, is that saying much? Oh, my goodness. No, but some context. They're definitely better than the Jets. And the Jets are 20th on this list. It's a bit confusing for me.
You have to understand that when these rankings are made, that they're going by past history. They're going by the fact that, they finished 3-13-1. I think we're giving the Lions too much credit for having a good roster. We're giving the Lions too much credit because we're falling into the trap that, things have fallen this way or that way. They could have won 9 games last season or 8 games last season. NFL doesn't work that way. The Lions are a bad team that's improving. Just because you got Aiden Hutchinson doesn't mean all of a sudden you go from the 28th team to number 20. You still have to develop depth. You need linebackers. The Lions have some good players, but you need difference makers because difference makers can change a quarter. They can change a game. They can change the way something happens because my unit may not be the best unit, but I got this one guy that can just switch it. Just bam. I can bust it for 80 yards.
Yeah, look, guys, the Saints roster, you tell me. What do they have better? You tell me. Chris Olave, Michael Thomas, okay. Alvin Kamara, yes, absolutely. No tight end. Offensive line is nowhere near the level of the Detroit Lions. You go to the defensive side of the ball. Who's on the team? Who? Marshawn Lattimore? Okay, I'll give you Marshawn Lattimore. Rostered. That means every player on the team. How many more years can Jordan have? He's 33 years old. Again, you guys are telling me they're a better roster as if it's like a night and day difference. They absolutely do not. Actually,
I think what is happening, the New Orleans Saints have had a better roster for the last
previous years.
10, 15 years. So when these people make up these lists, they assume that they're ahead of the Lions. So that's what happens. I think the preseason rankings and stuff, we shouldn't put too much into it because people are guessing. They're guessing that the Lions are going to be.
People are forgetting that Sean Payton isn't the coach anymore.
They probably still think he's the coach.
Does that not matter?
It should matter.
Well, Terry, they had a top 10 defense last year, okay? We're not talking about last year. Roster going into the season. They're not good at quarterback. You don't even know if Michael Thomas is going to play. Alvin Kamara was limited last year. He wasn't the Alvin Kamara that you all clamored for. Stop thinking in terms of fantasy football, by the way, on offense. The Lions have a fundamentally better offensive line. Completely night and day difference. The defensive line on New Orleans, solid. Corners, solid. That just because they have a few good pieces on defense and they're a little bit more complete, especially on linebacker. Well, the roster overall, 53-man roster, is better than the Lions? Come on, guys. Grow up. Killing me here, Terry.
How many games are the Lions going to win this year?
I'm stick with my number 8.
Okay, it's not happening. You might get your 7, but this rebuild, what do you want to call it, is still a couple years away. They've made some nice moves, but you have to understand the Lions have been in the basement for so long that not only must you get talent, but you must get talent that believes in the system, that believes in the direction they're headed in. And the Lions have not had that. So that's why I think they have a further way to go than most teams. Because even though I'm walking in, I can play, I'm looking around, okay, I don't believe in this guy over here, I don't believe in him, so I can only do too much.
Fair enough.
And sometimes you get guys trying to play hero ball, and that just doesn't work.
All right, well, we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we'll wrap up with some NBA Summer League, and then we'll head to Mailbag. But before we go, Terry, I got to tell all of you at home about the Mulligan, by the way, which is the drink made by Gypsy Vodka. The official drink of the summer is here. Gypsy Vodka brings you the Mulligan, 8% alcohol, iced tea, lemonade, whether you're hanging out on the golf course here at Cherry Creek Hill or you're hanging out in the backyard with a stick, fish, or whoever the hell it may be. Try out a mulligan, and as always, please drink responsibly.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Ciabattas, summer salads, and dip shakes. All at Big Boy. Try a chicken club, chicken cordon bleu, or sunrise ham and cheddar. All on our grilled ciabatta bread. Or keep it light with our Michigan apple, chicken Caesar, or Greek salad. And don't forget to cool off with a frosty hand-dipped cookies and cream or strawberry shake. You heard it here first. Summer just got better.
Comerica Park, sunshine, the crack of the bat. More sunshine, warmth. We're almost there, Detroit. Summer 2022 will be the summer of Woodward sports.
We just gotta make it through this damn cold first.
Look at me, I'm white as hell. I gotta go get a tan, I guess. Go to Chili Peppers Tan today. You'll get all the best deals. Plus, they'll beat all of the competitors by up to $5. Chili Peppers have the hottest balls, hottest deals, and the darkest tans. They have 26 locations in the lovely state of Michigan, and more of them are on the way. Go to Chili Peppers Tan today. Chili Peppers Tan!
Fish is not white. He's pasty.
Fish is kind of like ghost white.
Yeah,
Does that
well,
make sense?
I'm
Like
actually
Casper?
a little red because of Saturday, but I was white.
Fish
I mean,
can
I'm
golf,
still
by the
white.
way.
But
Fish can golf.
I'm still going to call him pasty.
Yeah, you get, I mean,
I don't know if there's a difference, but he's pasty.
Oh, goodness me. Well, Terry?
Yes, sir.
Summer League action. Obviously, the Pistons now 2-0, but some controversy on the court. LeBron James, Russell Westbrook not talking.
Yeah, I know, man. That was a little icy.
What's the deal? And Kyrie to L.A. is starting to heat up, Terry.
Yeah.
They're going for the reunion, and I think Russell Westbrook's starting to get the message.
I think your boy.
Not my boy.
Knows. No, that's Maddie's boy. But
yeah,
you know,
Russell Westbrook is a Maddie dude.
I think Russell Westbrook is looking at it this way. Okay, LeBron is abandoning him. Obviously, LeBron is running the franchise as far as a player standpoint is. But I think Russell Westbrook is a little bit scared. He's going to be out. They're bringing another clown, Kyrie Irving, but this clown is going to make it work somehow. This clown is going to put them in contention, and then Russell Westbrook is going to have to look at this, and he'll never admit it publicly, but deep down he'll have to say, you know what, maybe I was the problem. Or part of the problem.
It's not that he's a problem. He's such a good basketball player, talented-wise. Horrible decision-making, which you can fix, by the way.
That's a problem.
And he's never developed a three-point shot. And we have Isaiah Stewart over here for the Pistons, understanding, hey, if I want to keep my job in this league, if I want to be a productive player in the NBA, I need to hit a three-point shot. Wow, if Isaiah Stewart can figure it out, clearly Russell Westbrook can't. Somebody's got to help the guy. If they trade him for Kyrie Irving, I think it's a big win for L.A. Do I trust them to be a contender even with LeBron, AD, and Kyrie? No. Are they going to play enough games together? Are they going to have chemistry? Will Kyrie just get up and leave halfway into the year? There's a lot of question marks. With Russell Westbrook, Terry, I am confident in saying he's the most overrated superstar, and not only superstar, the most overrated MVP in league history. He's actually an awful basketball player. He's detrimental to his team, and he doesn't understand how to play winning basketball and team basketball. If he did, it would have worked with Kevin Durant. It would have worked with Paul George. It would have worked with James Harden. It would have worked with LeBron. Like, you can only go to so many. It's like you having 7 wives and getting 7 divorces. Is it always the wives' problem? Is it the girl's problem always? Or are you a piece of shit?
Well, I'm going to blame them, but I probably have a problem. But it's sort of like, this reminds me of Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson's a Hall of Fame coach. Phil Jackson's allowed to do weird things. Phil Jackson is a guy that's considered a winning coach. But Phil Jackson also had Shaq. He had Michael Jordan. He had Scottie Pippen. He had Kobe Bryant. Phil Jackson was never had to go in and build a team. And if he did, he already had superstars in place. And one of the guys that criticizes him the most is Red Auerbach. Red Auerbach, who did build teams from scratch. Red Auerbach, who, yes, he got Bill Russell and Havlicek and all those guys, but he developed a team. Phil Jackson never had to do that. But Russell Westbrook was given the Phil Jackson treatment. All right, we're going to pair you with LeBron, AD, a bunch of other superstars, and you still can't get it done. There's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with the sauce. So you can't, but he's a guy that wants to blame everybody else for him not winning. And there's a lot of apologists who say, well, you know, he got a bunch of triple-doubles.
Yeah, I think a talented player, hyper-athletic, doesn't mean he's a good basketball player. Like, I'm sorry, he was never regarded as the best point guard in the league in his own era. Damian Lillard was considered a better point guard than him, even through his MVP years. Russell Westbrook is just a waste of talent, a guy that never developed a three-point shot, a guy that never developed his off-ball skills, and a guy that never developed leadership qualities, and that's just the reality.
How about this? Westbrook is a good player, but he doesn't understand basketball. I mean, you just don't go out there and, you know, shoot up 50 shots and say, I'm great.
Well, when you're hyper-athletic and you can take 50 – if I took 50 shots a game in the NBA and shot 20%, how many shots we're looking at? 10 a game? 10 baskets. I'd average 20 a game.
Mm-hmm.
I'd average 20 to 24 a game, depending if I hit any threes.
And then I have to pay you $46 million.
And then you pay me $46 million to suck. And then take a Houston Rockets team that at the time had the highest offensive and defensive rating, efficiency rating in NBA with Chris Paul. And then I show up there, and we go from first to last in defensive rating and first to 14th in offensive efficiency. It's not Russell Westbrook's fault, though. It's not.
No,
He's a fantastic basketball player. We'll get into Mailbag in a bit, but before we do, Fish, could you tell everybody, one, where we're at, and two, about our good friends over at the Sports Marketing Agency?
We're at Cherry Creek Golf Course in Shelby Township, Michigan. Time to talk about SMA, the Sports Marketing Agency that helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast, This is the F Word, helps spread awareness of fentanyl and other addictions. Go to sportsma.com if you're struggling or know someone who is. This is the Morning Woodward Show. We'll be back after these messages.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Detroit's downtown summer playground is back. Open all summer long, the Monroe Street Midway. Enjoy roller skating, free Wi-Fi, food trucks, art installations, and so much more. Don't forget to take advantage of the basketball court, putt-putt, and, of course, family programming all summer long. All art installations are done by Detroit artists, and it's a fun, safe event from people 1 to 100. Go to deckedoutdetroit.com.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Oh, it's good old Folding Warehouse. They're actually here today. They got a golf hole, so if you come out, throw some footballs in the bowling pins, and that's where you could go in Hamtramck, Michigan. The home of the original football bowling game. They have two ways to play, $12 unlimited open play or $120 a lane, reservation up to 10 people, $2 mystery beers. Put $2 in, you get a mystery beer, you drink it, and you enjoy it. Stick knows what it is. They have a full bar. Check it out. Folding Warehouse in Hamtramck, Michigan. You should go there. It's a lot of fun. We were there back in November. Enjoy it. FoldingWarehouse.com.
All right, we're back. Mailbag time. Let's get the questions in the chat. Let's see what you guys have to say. Terry, we'll start with this. Best offense in the NFC North, yes or no?
Who?
The Detroit Lions.
No.
Yeah, I agree. No, the Vikings.
Stop it.
And honestly, I would even say the Packers second, even though they're limited with talent. They have Aaron Rodgers. That compensates enough.
The only thing we could say the Lions are the best at is maybe the offensive line.
Yes, they have the best offensive line, not only in the North, probably in the NFC, you could make the argument.
Yes.
They're top 3 in the NFL.
Other than that, there's nothing that is the best of with the Detroit Lions.
Yep. All right. If Woodward Sports had a mascot, who would be inside of the costume? I think Fish would be the mascot,
Yes.
right? 100%.
The only problem is he might not be able – he may not be big enough to fill the mascot costume. So he would be in there, but you couldn't keep the head on because there's not enough fish to keep the head on.
Do you have an extra small – you're going to have an extra small mask.
Right.
Whatever, costume. Whatever
Our mascot would be called Pipsqueak.
I mean, that's fine, I guess.
Well, we'll see.
Pipsqueak the wood truck.
Let's see. Other questions that we have going on in the chat. Terry?
Yes.
Who was at fault, Grant Hill or the Detroit Pistons?
The Pistons.
Why?
Because, A, they didn't build a team around them. B, they had a lot of infighting in the front office. C, they were firing coaches and doing all kinds of silly stuff. And I thought Grant Hill represented the Pistons well. And Grant Hill could really play. But it was just Grant Hill, and that's it.
Oof. Do you blame the Pistons, though? Because at the end of it, it turned into Joe Dumars. And that turned into a championship, 2 finals appearances.
Well, that was down the road.
That was only years after.
But regardless, it was down the road. At the time that Grant Hill was here, they were incompetent.
All right.
I don't care. Look, if something great happens here in 15 minutes and the previous 15 minutes sucked, it sucked.
Fair
Joe
enough.
Dumars turned that franchise around.
Fair enough. Let's see. Why didn't sports press at the time, Terry, do a better job of giving the real story and not letting Grant take the fall?
I think they did. I think I did. I wrote a number of stories criticizing the front office to the point that they wouldn't talk to me. That I was seen as this guy. I was quote unquote negative, and I brought up the fact that that Doug Collins was an incapable. I tell you a story that I wrote. Terry Mills, nicest guy in the world, squared up on Doug Collins doing practice and said the only reason I'm not going to kick your ass is because of the paycheck. Now, did that story splash across, 1A on the story? No, I think it was a notebook lead. But I thought I brought up the facts that I'll tell you the thing the problem I ran into is I would bring these things up, and a lot of the public chose not to believe it because they love their franchise so much. That's it. So it was brought up, and I think the public chose not to believe it.
Yeah, I mean,
because one of the things that happened during that time is the Pistons won 50 games. And so a lot of people thought, hey, everything is great. No, it wasn't. There were problems with that team, even though they won 50 games. And Chuck Daly always used to say this: winning covers a multitude of sins. That even if you have things that are not going well, if you win the game, that's all people care about.
Absolutely. Winning cures all. Who would you give the first half MVP for the Detroit Tigers? Would it be Tarek Skubal, Miguel Cabrera, Chris Fetter, Riley Green, or Justin Verlander / Isaac Paredes?
You know what? I give it to Riley Green for this standpoint. And I understand that he hasn't been here the whole time, but up until losing these 2 games, the Tigers had a winning record with Riley Green in the lineup. So it may not be all because of his production, but he gave that team a spark, and that team needed a spark because they were dead. They were dead. They had come to games expecting to lose, and couldn't hit a baseball. Didn't have enough energy to have these a big players only meeting or coming to Jesus meeting. But Riley Green came in for the first 17 games. They were 9-8. They were 9-7 the first 16 games. So, and when you talk to guys in that locker room, they say Riley Green gave us that spark. He gave us that charge. Something I didn't think was possible. So I would give it to Riley Green, even though he's only been here for fewer than 20 games.
All right, better chance of winning Rookie of the Year, Jaden Ivey or Paulo Banchero?
I'm going to go Banchero. I really like what I've seen from him so far. So if Cade Cunningham couldn't win Rookie of the Year with what he did, I think it's going to be even more difficult for Jaden Ivey. Although I will say this, I think there will be more eyes on Jaden Ivey than Cade Cunningham because of Cade Cunningham. So he's got a better shot than Cade, but I would say Banchero has a better shot at being Rookie of the Year.
All right, Fulmer gets traded for a pitching machine. What do you think? I think he gets traded for a bag of peanuts.
I was thinking Gatorade.
Thank you, Fish.
Or boogers. I don't like the fact, it bothers me, as a matter of fact, that Avila gets to decide not only Fulmer's future, but the Detroit Tigers' future with Fulmer.
How many years is he going to stay? Are we thinking 2 years, 3?
Who, Alex? I mean,
No,
not Alex, but Al?
Yeah, Avila.
15 years. 15 years.
15? No,
and by the end of it, we'll remember Avila and Chris Ilitch
as the best,
some of the biggest F-ups, if not the second, if not the biggest F-up in Detroit sports history, only behind, possibly, maybe they jump them, only behind William Clay Ford and Matt Millen.
I was thinking best combo in sports, but that's fine. You can go there, too.
I can't say he's going to be here for another 5-10 years, but I will say this. He will be here for 2 more years.
Okay. Because remember, we're out of the rebuild. Like, the rebuild's done.
Rebuild is done.
Yeah,
right.
and Chris Ilitch, progress.
Right.
Love you, Fish. Well, that's going to be it for us today. Thank you so much for joining Big D Energy
Yes.
live at
Take
11
the
o'clock.
sweatshirt off because now it's finally warm.
Absolutely. Here at the
I didn't
Cherry
even go
Creek
for a sweatshirt.
Golf
Well, you're
course.
tough.
Here for
Well,
the
not really.
Here for the DSMA Golf Outing. We will be here all day if you want to stop by and hang out with the crew. We have Stick, Spencer, Easy, Braylon. We have the whole crew here today. Make sure you watch Big D at 11, and
Yes.
we'll see you guys tomorrow.